We didn't even talk about food. So I'm going to ask you a couple of really quick food questions because we didn't get a chance to talk about food, which is one of my favorite topics to talk about. But are there dishes? I'm still stuck on this mushroom festival. Like, I need to visit, I need to go because I love mushrooms. But mushrooms aside, or included, depending on your answer, we have these two regions of Italy. What are some of the dishes, or what is the dish that defines these regions?
Yes, I'll talk about this and their local language name because both Piemonte and Lombardia are sort of the outskirts of mainstream Italian cuisine. Of
Mm,
course, you have some dishes that are included, like panettone and cotoletta alla milanese, risotto alla milanese, and so on. But for most parts, all these sort of dishes are a bit obscure to other speakers. And there are two, particularly, they have kept their name. So that shows that they were not popular in the rest of the regions. So in Lombardy, we'll find cassola, I think. Most people will say that, which means casserole, but it's a
mm,
sort of stew of every part of pork meat, which is not noble, like all the leftovers of the pork that the aristocrats wouldn't eat. Slowly cooked with savoy cabbage and with onion and carrots and celery and other ingredients that are missing now. But slowly cooked, and of course, it is served with polenta
mm,
because just to give one insight, here we are in the regions where polenta, cornmeal, I think, can
mhm.
be translated, or corn flour meal is like a preparation with corn flour and butter. It was the main food of the majority of people. They would
Mhm.
just eat polenta either alone or in combination with other things, usually
Okay.
chestnuts. That's the other big thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And for example, where my mom comes from, the traditional dish or the one that's been a bit more popularized now, apart from polenta and cheese or polenta and donkey meat, for example,
Mhm.
it's gnocchi, but they are made with chestnut flour and
Oh.
pumpkin and mushrooms. It's a very full, very autumnal dish,
Yeah.
that one. And to speak about dishes that have kept the language name in Piemonte, we have bagna cauda, which again, it's an autumnal dish because it was made in at the time where you cut down the grapes and in preparation for winemaking.
Mhm.
So it is may not sound appealing to many, very strong in taste, but it's a preparation of anchovies and garlic and butter. So again, all of these combined, and they make this bagna cauda just means hot sauce, but not hot in the sense of spicy, but hot in the sense warm. So it would be eaten warmed up. They usually have a sort of little casserole, and you put a candle underneath, and this would help to keep the sauce always hot. And you would just dip vegetables in it. So, for example, bell peppers or celeries, and yeah, these vegetable mostly, but you could dip in Belgian lettuce. It's another popular one. So you would dip all these vegetables in this sauce and you would eat it. And that would be very comforting and hot and warm for those days. But generally, again, yes. So we are in the polenta-based regions of Italy, like that's all the north of Italy, and also in the butter region of Italy. As I mentioned, butter a couple of times now. So that was the main source of grease in those
Okay.
regions. And yeah,
Yum. I wanna try
It's
them.
not, this sounds appealing. I'm happy. In Piemonte, they also have a lot of starters. They have a tradition for making a lot of starters. They use a lot of anchovies. They come from the nearby region of Liguria.
Mhm.
And in Lombardia, whereas there is polenta, a lot of it goes. And both regions, actually, they share a tradition of making dumplings, like ravioli shape. In Piemonte, you would find those, and they are like ravioli del fin or agnolotti. There are, yeah, two different kinds. And in Lombardy, you would have casonsei, that is in Bergamo and in Brescia.
Mhm.
And more or less, they share the same concept of a filling and dough
Yeah.
around it.
The best thing in the world is a dumpling. All
Mhm.
around the world, a dumpling. Say no more. I wanna try it. You mentioned anchovies a few times. Are we an anchovy consuming group of people?
They really like it in Piemonte, and
Okay.
therefore I like it. And I don't know, I found it weird because I'm not used to that. It's a cultural shock. And I go to other places and they're like, you anchovies. I'm like, what do you mean? But that's just my perspective because another one of the big starters and especially in the festivities is anchovy al vert. So it's anchovies served in a sauce that is green. That's why
Mhm,
it's vert,
mhm.
like in French again, similarity. So it's bagnette vert. So it's a sauce made with parsley, anchovies, garlic, oil, I think
Okay.
or butter. Maybe back in the day, butter, and nowadays we use oil,
Mhm.
and that's like a huge thing. So yeah, like they like their anchovies a lot here. They do in Piemonte. In Lombardy, maybe a bit less. In Lombardy, they
Yeah.
do like pork meat
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love anchovies, and I didn't really get into them till I was much older, and there's one particular brand of anchovy that I like in the tin, and I can never find it anymore, and I don't wanna buy another brand of anchovy because they always have the bones in it, but the ones that I bought, they were filleted perfectly, and they had good flavor, and they weren't too oily, and I love anchovies, but you're right, a lot of times you'll say anchovies to people, and they'll ugh, they don't people don't like them. I guess they don't like a strong fish, but is there an anchovy festival? Like the mushroom and the pepper
I'm
festival?
pretty sure there is, but I do not know of it. But I will
Okay,
share it with you and with
okay.
the rest of
Yeah.
anchovies lovers that we have. And also, fun fact, the words in Piemontese, but also I think Lombard for anchovies resembles the English one because in Piemontese it's anchoe, the
Mm,
plural, anchoa singular, and in Italian we know it's acciuga. So, you know, yeah,
yeah.
I would say that Piemontese is no, it wouldn't be that hard for English speakers or French speakers to learn for sure.